Welcome, everybody, to UFA Game Day ahead of Friday Night Frisbee here in Golden, Colorado. Week 10 of 13 in the UFA regular season getting underway this evening. The Colorado Apex will battle the Oakland Spiders at 7 p.m. Mountain, live and free here on the UFA YouTube channel. Other games live on watchufa.tv as we slide into this weekend. Ian Toner here with Chuck Kindred. Bjorn Shea's down on the sideline. We're going to get his thoughts in a little bit. Chuck, this is an incredible time of year in the association. There's so much excitement. There's so much opportunity and uncertainty for all the teams that are still in the hunt. What's top of mind for you right now?
Well, I'm always just kind of blown away at how fast the season goes. You really don't have a lot of time, and both of these teams are starting to realize that. And I think Colorado, their season's on the line. They're trying to build a new iteration of this team. It'll be, it's do or die for them. We're going to see what they got where it counts tonight.
Well, to that point, we already have a couple playoff spots confirmed and clinched. Let's take a look at the league standings across all four divisions real quick. The confirmed teams who have clinched their spots, that's Minnesota, Boston, Austin, Carolina, and Oakland, who've all clinched berths. That's 5 of the 12 playoff spots that are clinched. 7 others are still up for grabs. You mentioned there, you can still see Colorado is technically alive here in the West. We'll talk about them in a few minutes. But, Chuck, I want to start out east. Former Colorado Apex star Alex Atkins, he's putting together an MVP-level season for the Empire. But New York has been stunned by both the glory and the breeze at different points in this season. What's your read on the East right now?
Yeah, the glory is so tough to just battle with, and Toby DeCrana seems to have somehow leveled up. I thought when you bring in Alex Atkins and Don Desmarais into New York, it's like, hey, it's the Knicks, it's the Empire, it's New York's year. But it's just going to be a grind. It's kind of amazing when you look at that roster. Even Toronto is really a tough team. They've got, for my money, like 2 guys that are potential Rookie of the Year candidates.
Totally.
And they're in 4th place. They're not even really in the picture.
They're definitely ruining that loss at Oregon last weekend. An interesting split on their road trip. But no East tussles this weekend. Plenty to look forward to in the coming weeks. Like Week 12, when Boston is going to go to Minnesota for that 2025 title game rematch. And in the Central Division, Chuck, it's kind of hard to imagine anyone catching those defending division champs. What do you think is different about the wind chill this season as we take a look at the Central standings?
Well, the Wind Chill have done a good job of bringing in some studs like Justin Burnett, Lucas Ambrose. This year they brought in Noah Kuhlman. If they didn't already have an incredibly tough defensive identity, they certainly do now. And then you add in a guy like Nate DeMorgan, who's just his pace, his throws, he's just so dangerous. And he's thrown to guys like Will Brand. He's thrown to Vanuka. These guys are going to make you look good even if you're a hack like me. So it's been fun to watch these guys. Burnett's still just pretty much good for a layout D every game. And, the firepower. One thing to mention is I feel like Klain has settled in a little bit. I've always liked his throws. I've always trusted his throws. And I just think he's more precise. He's a little more focused. And I think they're just really dangerous, man. I've never understood why Minnesota wasn't good during my days because they've got Carleton. It's like, geez, Figure it out. You got the best college program in the world. You got a juniors program that's always been good back into the 90s. But I don't know. They figured some things out. They brought in some talent, and they look so tough and strong.
Only thing I want to add to your thoughts, Gordon Larson really cooking on offense for them.
Incredible, yeah.
The only Central matchup this weekend, Madison at Indy. That's Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern. You can catch that live on watchufa.tv. Let's take a look at the South Division standings now. This division is chaos right now. You've got Austin at the top of the table. They are 8-0. They could very easily be 4-4 when you think about the close finishes they've had in overtime and regulation. Our own Bjorn Shea, happy birthday, buddy. He was a key part of their coaching staff and broadcasting staff before he came out here to Colorado. And Bjorn, I'd love to bring you in and get your thoughts on how Austin's looking right now and what you think is most important for them down the stretch.
Yeah, once again, it really comes down to Austin being right at the top with Carolina. This year, like you said, I don't know if any team in the history of the league has ever played as many games to overtimes as Austin has, especially considering 2 of them were double OTs. But back when I was coaching, really it was just Carolina we were always scared of, and then Dallas when they had their heyday. But now it seems like the whole division is pretty solid. Atlanta's very good. I think San Diego's obviously very good. They took Austin to overtime twice. But it looks like everything's going to come down to that weekend that everybody had circled on their calendars at the beginning of the year. The only doubleheader weekend Austin had on the road, which is Austin traveling to Carolina and then to Atlanta. I hated playing in that Carolina stadium. I hated coaching there. It was brutally muggy. And it's going to be a tough weekend for them. And the whole placement of the division is going to come down to that weekend. So see what happens.
So Austin's off this weekend. That weekend that you're mentioning is coming up in July. But San Diego, lurking in 4th place in the South, they've got the head-to-head over Atlanta, who's actually sitting in 3rd. They're facing off against Houston, a team that actually pushed the Soul to OT earlier this season. That matchup coming up between Austin and, San Diego and Houston, Saturday, 6:30 p.m. Pacific. Of course, we would be remiss if we didn't touch on tonight's matchup as we look at the West Division standings here. We've got the Oakland Spiders, top of the division, facing off against the Apex. Oakland has actually never won here. 0-3 since Colorado joined the UFA in 2022. The Apex need a win to keep those slim playoff hopes alive. Chuck, what are you thinking heading into tonight's matchup?
Well, Oakland's out here. They look deep and athletic. They're real fired up and positive in pregame. Like we were talking about their body language just walking up here. Like these guys look confident and they're having fun. They look like, a juggernaut type team. And I mean, you watched that game last week. I mean, was it last week or 2 weeks ago against Minnesota?
2 weeks ago. Yeah.
2 weeks ago. I mean, like how close was that to just being, for us talking about Oakland as the 8-0 juggernaut team for the league? I think they're going to be tough. I think they're very athletic, but they have not won here. And it is, I mean, as a guy who played most of his years in the Bay Area and came out to Colorado, it's my least favorite place to play. I hated it. And I'm so glad I don't play Masters. Don't make me play in Colorado.
So let's get down to the field. We'll check back in with Bjorn. He's standing by with Ben and Shea, one of the league's leading goal scorers. Bjorn?
Hey, Ben, first of all, nice to meet you finally. It's been fun to watch you all year. You're having a tremendous year. And so I just wanted to ask you a couple questions before this matchup. One, it's looking slim to make the playoffs, but what are you looking for to improve on as a player and as a team these last few games to really make these last few games as productive as possible and get the most out of them?
Yeah. As a team, I still think we have a lot to prove to ourselves. I think we've had a lot of good highs throughout the season, but I don't think we've necessarily peaked yet. And so I think we still want to prove to ourselves we're a better team. Individually, I just want to keep improving everywhere. Yeah.
Okay. And, this is probably, very few people had heard of you before this year. And now, you are let's call you take a football term, the featured back of this offense. So what's it like? What surprised you in both a positive way and give me something you need to work on as being the person who the defense is kind of coming after? Yeah. You're getting that best defensive player. What's that been like? How have you enjoyed it, and what do you need to work on for that?
It's definitely a lot different than anything I've played before. I mean, club, college, all that. It's been a big adjustment. People getting to scout you, seeing your stats, that type of stuff. The first couple games, nobody really, like you said, knew me. So I think I kind of took advantage of some of those matchups. And then I definitely started to see that teams were noticing and the matchups were getting harder. But it definitely helped to open up teammates. And I think just getting to play team ball, it's not just me, it's everybody out there. Yeah.
All right, sounds great. Thanks for that insight. Yeah. And Bjorn Shea with Ben and Shea, practically the same guy except for the athleticism. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
And see you out there.
Thank you.
Details. Great stuff, Bjorn. Well, Colorado is not technically eliminated with a loss tonight. I'll leave you all with this summary, and we'll be diving into things more deeply on the full broadcast. Any Colorado loss or Salt Lake win means the Apex can't surpass the Shred this season. And any Apex losses or Cascades wins, totaling 2 over the course of the rest of the season, means Colorado can't pass Seattle unless Colorado beats Seattle by at least 13. Of course, Colorado is hosting Oregon at 7 p.m. Pacific tonight on watchufa.tv. And then the Cascades come here to Marv K next Friday, July 3rd. That's going to do it for UFA Friday Night Frisbee Game Day. Thanks for joining us here on the Ultimate Frisbee Association YouTube channel. Time to watch some plastic and bodies fly here at Elevation. Don't go anywhere. The opening pull between Oakland and Colorado coming your way after the break.
The Ultimate Frisbee Association is proud to partner with Victory. Elevate your game with Victory insoles and recovery footwear at VKTRY.com. Delta THC Seltzers. No calories, no sugar, no alcohol. Catch life's moments at DrinkDelta.com. Two Town Cider House, bringing the best craft cider for everyday celebration. Find yours at TwoTownCiderHouse.com. And Disc-It. Round Net meets Ultimate. Disc-It is the must-have portable game for every UFA fan. Get yours at DiscItGame.com.
Since winning it all in 2015, the Oakland Spiders haven't returned to championship weekend. Now, the Spiders sit atop the West with hopes of weaving a division title into their web. But Colorado is hungry for revenge from last year's playoff loss. Can the Apex spark turbulence on Oakland's trip to altitude? The opening pull is coming up next.
Heat waves and late nights in the middle of June. The pressure is on here in the Ultimate Frisbee Association's West Division as the Colorado Apex prepare to host the Oakland Spiders, who have yet to win a game in Colorado and are hungry to respond after their first loss of the season. Good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us here on Friday Night Frisbee. Ian Toner alongside Chuck Kindred. Bjorn Shea's on the sideline. He's going to join us. A beautiful night here at Marv K Stadium in Golden, Colorado. Chuck, Colorado's playoff odds are slim. They got to win to keep their hopes alive. Oakland still hasn't locked up first place in the West. What are you expecting here with this matchup tonight? Yeah,
Oakland's here to win. You know, they brought their big guns for the most part, and they look fired up and ready. They got a long bench to lean on. And Colorado, for Colorado, this is a gut check. This is a team they're going to see this year and next. They need to establish their identity with this new group. Guys like Ben Shea, who's a rookie. I mean, he's got 30 goals, but he's a rookie. They need to come out and kind of just say, hey, I'm here and I'm going to score against you and everyone else in the West. So we'll see what happens. This should be a fight.
Now, for the second game in a row, Daniel Ridhaller, one of the league's leading scorers and the leading scorer on the Spiders, is inactive. He's rehabbing a hamstring injury, but Oakland, you mentioned, plenty of other playmakers to fill his shoes, and no surprise, they're going to be leaning on Walker Frankenberg tonight.
Yeah, Walker's such an engine. You know, the guy's just constantly working. He's kind of a tank. Like when he gets in front of you, good luck getting around him. And, just brings the energy. He can score goals. He can throw goals. He's constantly on the attack. He sees angles well. And, for me, he's kind of an energy and a chemistry guy, too. I just like what he's bringing to the team. And, they're going to lean on him. He might be facilitating a little more than he normally does. But, with guys like Raquan Atkins, Dexter Clyburn, like all these athletes that they have, he should be able to wheel and deal and get it done.
When Colorado lost at Oakland on June 6th, Frankenberg had 2 goals, 3 assists, 2 hockey assists, and more than 500 yards of offense for the Spiders. Now, the Apex are missing some pieces tonight, too. Quinn Feiner, Alex Piper, both inactive. Other guys going to be moving around. The net effect of all of that, there's going to be a ton more riding on the shoulders of Seth Ferris this evening.
Yeah, Seth's an interesting guy. He's going to have to be able to get open against a number 1 defender, which is not easy on a team like Oakland. I mean, they're going to put some real athletes on him. But what we've seen is when he gets the disc under, when he gets the disc anywhere, he's dangerous. He hits the over-the-tops. He's got a huge forehand huck. He's got some of the craziest backhand hucks I've ever seen. And, this dime that he threw in the last game off a layout catch, he's a guy that they've leaned on, and he's really stood up to the pressure. 2 years ago, you'd say this guy's a role player. Today, he's an up-and-coming star with 26 assists and a lot of ink.
Yeah, those 26 assists, a career high through 9 games this season, and 2 of those came against Oakland back on June 6th. Well, so far this season, Oakland has scored the second most goals per game and allowed the fewest. Colorado has struggled to climb the leaderboard in any major stat categories, but can the Apex find the trail to the promised land this evening? Let's find out together, shall we? The opening pull is coming up next.
The Ultimate Frisbee Association is proud to partner with Victory. Elevate your game with Victory insoles and recovery footwear at VKTRY.com. Delta THC Seltzers. No calories, no sugar, no alcohol. Catch life's moments at DrinkDelta.com. Two Town Cider House, bringing the best craft cider for everyday celebrations. Find yours at TwoTownCiderHouse.com. And Disket. Round Net meets Ultimate. Disket is the must-have portable game for every UFA fan. Get yours at DisketGame.com.
By Victory Performance Insoles. Chuck Kindred, what are we focusing on for the Oakland Spiders?
Well, for Oakland tonight, you know, they want to get back to stopping the huck. They kind of got lit up by Minnesota, to be honest. Minnesota's a tough team. They were hucking very well, and that's unusual. I mean, Oakland's been one of the best teams at defending the huck, so I think they need to focus on containing the deep shot from Colorado. So we'll get these up on the screen for you all. And then on offense, I think they're going to have some matchups that are going to be desirable for them. So we'll, you know, if I'm Oakland, I'm looking to exploit matchups. They're going to have a couple bigs. They're going to have a couple guys with speed, a couple throwers, and they're going to want to try to take advantage of their matchups against Colorado.
And then Colorado wants to focus on.
Yeah, and Colorado, if I'm then, they're one of the higher turnover teams in the whole league. And they need to kind of address that now or later, right? Like, it might as well do it now. So I think they need to possess the disc, not turn the disc over. And then this is an opportunity, you know, with Quinn Finer out, with a new team, a new identity, I think they need to focus on developing talent. This is a time for Ben and Shea to test himself. This is a time for some of the younger guys like Mueller to come out and make a mark and just see what these guys got. So I think developing talent is a good goal for the Apex today.
Well, there's Tim Kafalis and Joe Durst telling this D-line what to do, and you'll notice Ben and Shea, who had been playing majority all season, is actually going to go over and play D tonight. They got a lot of faith in his ability to slow things down for the attack of Oakland. They really like the way he can play tough man defense. The Apex won the toss, and they elected to start this game on D. So Hunter May will release the pull, and don't be fooled, folks. It is still 0-0.
Yeah, Hunter May's a guy that you would love to see take a step forward, too. I mean, he's a big target. He's a vet. He made that incredible catch to win the game against Salt Lake. And, you know, with a team like this against an opponent like Oakland, they need guys like him to step up. I also like, I mean, you talked about Shea moving over to the other side. Jay Frood behind the disc was surprisingly good in the last game, too. So, you know, the coaching staff's going to try to find things that work, try to find players and play to their strengths. But, you know, they're trying to solve a puzzle tonight.
So 60 seconds until the opening pull here in Golden. A reminder of the can't-miss games coming up on the UFA schedule. We've got Oakland at Salt Lake. That's the second leg of their road trip. That's tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern on WatchUFA.tv, the game of the week. We got Indy versus Madison. That's coming your way on 4th of July Eve, Friday, July 3rd, 8 p.m. Eastern. Friday Night Frisbee, free for everyone on YouTube. And then on the 4th of July, Seattle and Salt Lake duking it out in the middle of the West Division. That's going to be live on WatchUFA.tv.
Seattle's been tough, too. I did not know what to make of that team at the beginning of the year. They had a lot of fight, and they're really in position to get into the playoffs. You got to salute those guys.
I mean, if they can get their group committed, their roster fully available, this is a program that was at championship weekend just 2 seasons ago. You can't sleep on them. So Hunter May getting set to pull for Colorado. These two teams, longtime foes in the West Division. We mentioned the Spiders beat the Apex on June 6th, 19 days ago. And the Apex last beat the Spiders May 30th, 2025, 391 days ago. Here's Oakland in white attacking from left to right across your screen. A little bump on the mark there, and Adam Reese gets to march the disc up 10 yards. Frankenberg isolated. He takes off down the line. Throw doesn't go. That's Atkins getting the disc off the line, and now to Clyburn.
Clyburn's around backhand is kind of crazy. He moves the release point and gets it off on just about everybody.
Clyburn to Reese to space. And there's the finish there for Stefan McCall, the Georgia Tech product, who's slotting into the offense tonight. I think there's a big focus on him trying to get reps in the backfield with Dexter Clyburn, especially in the absence of Daniel Riddle.
Yeah, great opportunity to build some chemistry. I love Adam Reese. I mean, he was one of the front runners for Rookie of the Year last year, and rightly so. And you just, when he's got the disc, you just got a good feeling as an Oakland fan, and he delivers once again. Love to see these guys working it out. And, you know, at the beginning of that play, Raekwon Atkins had a layout where he kind of landed on his knees and rolled up, and it's like, man, it's good to be young, you know what I'm saying? Like, that would have ended my game, I believe, if I had a layout like that.
Well, this is Raekwon's first game played with the Spiders since the May 10th win at Oregon. He was competing with Oregon Ego at the college championships, finishing up his college semester, but now he should be back and available for the Spiders, hopefully the rest of the way, as Oakland's first pull lands out of bounds, and Tim Elliott, one of the throwing yardage leaders in the entire league, starts against the double team here, gets a quick swing over to Knopp.
Yeah, fun to see Tim Elliott step up. He really has had no problem with the additional volume, the additional responsibility, and he has had a lot of responsibility this year.
Vickers-Batzdorf drawing that matchup to start here. Here's Knopp.
So really nice downfield D. Not a lot to look at for Colorado, and it's going to be one of those nights where they're going to have to fight to open up the downfield space.
And the underneath look from Knopp to Gould, not working. And Oakland turning the page quickly. There's Evan Maxig, the former O-line star, sending it to the end zone. Max Zwerin getting the goal for Oakland, the first break here on Friday Night Frisbee.
Yeah, great downfield pressure, not a lot to look at, tough resets, and then Zwerin comes in, gets the block, and Maxing just does what he does, man. That guy throws goals. I know he's on the D-line, but he's a guy that I watch with the disc. He's just got such a good eye. So many throws. I believe he was a tennis player. There's the defense from Zwerin. And that's a forehand. That's a passing shot at the net in tennis, and ultimately we call it a goal.
Well, nightmares recurring here for Colorado because Max Zwerin had 6 blocks against the Apex when they traveled to Oakland earlier in June, and already with a block and a goal to his credit. There's Dylan Villeneuve on the pull for the Spiders, making his UFA debut. The Brown product. Oh, there's a throw off the line that gets tipped. No foul call, and another short field here for the Spiders. And there's the first UFA goal for Dylan Villeneuve. He's dealing with a calf injury earlier this season and excited to be active and available here tonight. And the Spiders off to a hot start.
Yeah, calf looked pretty good there with the kick spike. Great way to get started. And yeah, Oakland, you know, during warm-ups, we talked a little bit about it. It just looked like Oakland's energy was a little higher, and that's how it's looked so far this game. They're coming out, they're firing, they're hungry for the disc, and Colorado looks a little tentative.
Kind of felt like after that roller pull, the thrower was a little stranded there, Chuck. There wasn't anyone there to help.
I know. If he could have just grown a foot, that would have helped. But, yeah, that's a tough double team to start with. But Oakland looking real comfortable. I mean, we talked about it. You know, there's that game that they lost to Minnesota. I thought they were going to win that pretty much until the end of the game. You know, shout out to Minnesota for getting it done. They really – that throw from Will Brandt was an incredible game-winning throw.
Here's Gould pulling the trigger, trying to send Jay Frood deep. He's got steps on Villeneuve, and Frood brings it down. That's why they put Jay back on offense. And the Marv Craig crowd comes to life.
Jay Fruit, just a champion in this league, been doing it for years. Came up through the Madison system, wins a title with Dallas, playing with Colorado, and he's been turning the clock back. I mean, we talked about it. He got onto offense in the last game and looked so good with the disc. You know, you think about who you want to pick up the pool, who you want to cut against a tough defender. Jay Fruit has been doing it for years, and he looks so confident. And watch this. This is a veteran play. Gets position. He's got an athletic defender on his back and just plays the disc beautifully. I'm not even sure how he made that catch.
I was going to say, did Villeneuve maybe have some fingertips on that, and Jay just kind of ripped it there?
Yeah, Villeneuve was posing for the cameras, whereas the savvy fat Jay Fruit just rips it down and gets it done. Nice touch pass to space. And Jay Fruit, man, Hall of Famer.
Hall of Famer for sure. Number 2 on the Colorado franchise goal scoring list all time. Here's Frankenberg. Grab made there by Mo Aweiss. Another grab in traffic made by McCall. Frankenberg with the field switch. Hammer over the top to Gordon. He catches it with 2 hands, floats it a little casually. And there's a block for Colorado. Drew Rasmussen knocking that one to the turf.
And great pressure on that crossfield hammer from Aylin Lerton. I think he bothered the catch enough. Logan Pruce also in the mix on that. You know, sometimes defense is all about pressure, and they were able to apply some in that point.
Ben Harris with the inside to Logan Pruce. Pruce pulls the trigger. He's got 2 receivers going. That's a goal, folks. Ollie Cunningham as Colorado breaks back here in the first quarter.
And, you know, you've been wondering all season when they would go to Logan Pruce. He's just a vet. He's a winner, and he's obviously not intimidated by this moment. Was very close to a block on defense and then makes a great play, an incredible throw. Just saw 2 cutters, threw it away from the defenders and let those guys run onto it and make a play. So just like that, you know, sometimes the moment gets a little too big for the younger guys. Guys like Jay Fruit, guys like Logan Pruce come out, settle the guys, get a goal, and, you know, we'll see what kind of fight these Apex guys can bring.
Pruce, a UFA champion with Madison back in 2018, as we get one more look at that little careless turnover there from Leo Gordon.
Yeah, feeling himself a little too much maybe.
And Pruce back in the lineup for the first time since Colorado's road trip in mid-May. And letting everybody know right away. Here's Raquan Atkins. Swinging to Magsig, who's out here to try and stabilize this line after getting broken. Adkins with another touch. Burns comes underneath. Adkins, power position. Same third look for Lankford, and Hunter May knocks it away, but there was a whistle from head referee Jonathan Monforti.
I think that was on the release is what it sounds like. Looked like a good block from Hunter May.
Yeah, so it might have been contact on the mark, a foul. Andrew Mueller was marking Raquan Atkins here.
I think that's the second foul on the mark from Mueller.
Big upline gainer there for Valley, and an easy continuation into the end zone there for Anton Orm, playing in his first game since the May 10th win at Oregon. Of course, he competed in the college championships. He's dealing with a hamstring injury. Had to go to his own graduation from Cal Poly SLO, and it's great to see him back and healthy here in the lineup. And just what an embarrassment of riches that head coach Liam Kreis and everyone have to pick between when they're trying to set their active 20.
Yeah, pretty incredible. And, you know, they should really rename it from Cal Poly SLO to Cal Poly Fast. These dudes are
I see what you did there, Chuck.
Did you want me to break that down?
Yeah.
Follow
please.
me on Twitter. Is Twitter still around?
It's still a thing. It may be a little bit of a wasteland, but it's still a thing.
I believe it.
I believe they call it X now, just in case you didn't know.
Oh, they break up or something?
Yeah. Another out-of-bounds pull for Oakland. So
that was a sea level pull, I believe.
Yes.
that was That was a field goal from 80 yards. So Tim Elliott, I've been so impressed with him. I don't know how you can go from his role last year, which is kind of a facilitator, sort of in the background, and now he's just absolutely in the middle of every single play. And there's so much pressure on him. And I'm just so impressed with how he's handled it.
Here's Nondaman Fink. Off the line to Thomas Brewster. Nice continue to Ferris. Knopp's taken off. Throw goes up. A little adjustment mid-route. Oh, and Knopp couldn't get it. Another break chance here in the first quarter for Oakland.
Yeah, nice shot from Ferris. Knopp needs to read that.
Lankford. Up the line to Lincoln Grench. One more to Seamus Robinson. Off the line to Grench. Itai Chang sliding to the turf to save that one. Here's Tony Goss, the former Seattle Cascade, going every other with Robinson. Inside to Chang. Villeneuve, Lankford, back to Villeneuve. And the Spiders complete the break. Back up by 3.
Carter Lankford been this season. I mean, he has just been an impact player and makes some lemonade out of lemons on that play there.
He's tied for 3rd in the association in blocks with 15 coming into tonight. And of course, whenever you talk about that with leaders, the coaching staff, his teammates, you know, everyone else is quick to say, yes, Carter's great. He works harder than anybody. He's put in a ton of work to be the defender he is today. But blocks in the UFA are a team effort. It's such a big field. There's so much responsibility for everybody. And they're quick to share credit without that group.
There's no huddle. Oh, now they're happy.
So
Magsig, sorry, Chuck, with the roller pull.
Yeah, disaster last time they were trapped on the sideline. So first line of business to get it off that line.
So this is a swing line out there. Bauman going same 10th, and that one didn't really come back in. Let's see exactly where the official spots it out of bounds. I believe Eric Silva is saying it's about 25 yards shy of the attacking end zone for Colorado.
Yeah, costly mistake there from Bauman. Wasn't even a trap mark, and it wasn't a double team this time. So no need to pull the trigger.
Magsig to Valley off the line. Burns the next under, marked by Pruce. Here's the shot. Zwerin going deep. Another goal for the block monster, Max Zwerin.
Yeah, really pretty motion from Oakland. They timed that beautifully, reversed the field. Zwerin coming from midfield, releases right on the catch. And that's exactly what you want to see as a thrower. You want to see Zwerin going full speed away with an angle to throw onto. And we'll get a look at that. But yeah, Zwerin has really been taken over in this first quarter. Here's the look down the line.
I mean, if any young coaches or players want some film study, just
here's a great angle. So you can kind of see Zwerin was coming from roughly that hash mark there, which gives his thrower a nice angle. I think that was Dylan Burns down the line.
And just
easy throw.
Think about how they set that up. A nice throw off the line from Magsig to Valley and under to Burns after Valley caught that off the line, and then the deep continuation. I mean, you can't draw it up much cleaner than that.
That's easy.
It's a simple game, Chuck.
That's right, man. We're just throwing and catching out here.
Gould throwing and catching with Elliott. Gutsy throw there. Gets it up to Min Fink.
Nice break from Nanda.
Yeah, the Oyo to Frood. He steps into the backhand. It's hanging a little bit. Robinson versus Ferris. And Robinson takes that away.
Gosh, Robinson plays with so much fire. I mean, just the way he got that block, the speed, closing on the disc, that had no chance whatsoever. I mean, if you're Frood, you'd like to see him put one of those tight IOs out to space. He kind of floated that one a little bit.
Goss. Here's Valley at midfield. Resetting to Chang. Anton Orm. Back to Chang. Orm won Offensive Player of the Year honors for his attacking with Cal Poly Slow in the men's college division, as awarded by Ulti-World. And contributing on the D-line here for the Spiders. Here's Chang. Valley with the inside. Robinson looking to finish this point after getting the block. Orm taking his time, floating it out to space, and bookends for Seamus Robinson.
And Seamus feeling it, feeling himself out there. Big point, big block. And, you know, not afraid of the moment. This Oakland team has come out here to win. Like you said, they want to solidify their spot at the top of the West. They want to make a run this year. And it starts with this defense from Seamus Robinson. Comes around the backside and just like spike blocks it. Huge block, tons of energy. And then to finish it out, just kind of releases, lulls Seth Ferris to sleep. Great German throw out to space, and Seamus Robinson knows what to do with that.
Couple different runs so far here in Golden. Oakland jumped out to a 3-0 lead. Colorado punched back to 3-2, and it's been Oakland all since here on Friday Night Frisbee. As Magsig pulls for the Spiders. And, you know, if you caught our Friday Night Frisbee broadcast 2 weeks ago, we did talk about this some, but I'm not sure enough folks around the association are aware of how great a switch it's been within the depth charts for the Oakland Spiders. Evan Magsig, longtime O-line handler, switching over to the D-line for Oakland, just boosting their efficiency. And Ridholler, who's unavailable tonight, has slotted in seamlessly to the offense as Colorado hucks that one away. A deep shot intended for Stevie Perlman, not able to connect.
Yeah, not a bad look, honestly, but that had everything to do with the pressure that Oakland was putting on their handlers. You know, Aylin Lerner just said, look, every yard is like back-breaking, so I'm just going to take a shot.
So Oakland was marching up the field, and Liam Kreis electing to use his first timeout of the first half and get some O-line personnel out there and get them some more reps together.
So we're going to set up in a T-stack, but instead of running gamma, we're just going to run 0. And then after we swing it to the middle.
It's a rivalry that goes back to 2013, a clash of styles, and a history of close, down-to-the-wire finishes. The Indianapolis AlleyCats and the Madison Radicals. Next week on Friday Night Frisbee.
We'll have, remember, hold it. Dexter throwing to me. Hold it does not mean we hold it. Let's get Mo last step right.
Leo Gordon calling the shots here in this timeout huddle. There's Raekwon Atkins out there with Walker Frankenberg, Adam Reese, Mo Weiss. As we resume play here, Gordon to Frankenberg. McCall comes to the shallow space.
I'd like to see Hunter May front Adam Reese there.
Switches on to McCall. Reese swinging to Gordon. Really the only blemish from the Spiders this quarter has been that casual offhand backhand from Gordon in the red zone.
Yeah, and Colorado really hasn't been able to apply a lot of pressure on these looks. Even when they're close, a lot of times they're not committing fully to the bid. And they're going to need to maybe take some chances.
Gordon back to Moa Weiss. There's a bid from Shea. Close on Frankenberg, but can't get plastic.
We're down to 10 seconds in the red zone here.
And there's the block you were looking for, Chuck. Andrew Mueller. And it takes Colorado a few seconds to call a timeout there. We'll see if they end up putting a few more back on the clock.
Yeah, nice gut check from Colorado. I mean, they had a couple looks where they were close. I didn't see who it was, but Dexter Clyburn came in for an under, and it's like, look, you're just going to have to lay out and make him feel you on defense a little bit, make him know that you're there. And, eventually they get another bid from Shea and then finally get the block from Mueller. So here's kind of how it's set up. Frankenberg being the quarterback in the red zone. This is after a couple pressures already, and Reese just not able to get there in time. Mueller takes the angle, explodes through the hit. And that's big. This is a momentum game. And Colorado needs to claim some.
Zone of these four to start, okay, and see if it's short that we need a tip or something. Yeah, it's essentially a big 3-1-3.
That was a good one. That was a good one. 4 on 2, 1, 2. So, hey, is it on these?
It seems like if Colorado's going to win this game, Nandaman Fink has to have a big game. Like he's been a little bit in the background, and I think he's so talented and just has a motor and really is dangerous downfield, dangerous catching and throwing. I'd like to see him kind of just turn it on and say, hey, this point's my point.
Well, it looks like he's one of the 3 throwers in the backfield as we prepare to come out of this timeout with 5 seconds left on the clock here in the first quarter. It's Aylin Learned, Nanda Midfink, and Seth Ferris back there with Jay Frood totally unmarked at midfield. There's the big gainer. 3 seconds, 2, 1. He did get this off. It looks like it's going to get there, but will it stay in bounds? Oh, it's blocked away by Chander Boyd Flegel, the O-line standout, making a case for Rookie of the Year and knocking the disc away at the end of the quarter.
Yeah, great play in the back of the end zone there. That was the look you wanted. Frood overthrows it a little bit, and it's been all Oakland here in the first quarter.
7-2 Spiders after 1 second quarter on the other side of the break. (7-2) Oakland as we get set to start the second quarter here in Golden. Let's check in with Bjorn Shea down on the sideline. Bjorn?
Hey guys, a pretty tough first quarter. We knew it was going to be tough for the Apex, but Oakland's really showing their mettle here. One thing I noticed, I talked about this with you, Ian, when I was in the booth with you. The backfield of the Apex really gets jammed up. There was one particular point I'm thinking of when they had Gould, Knopf, and CT in the backfield, and those 3 just can't be on the field at the same time. Really gets jammed up. You see a lot of hucks coming out of the Apex backfield, but they're hucks that are having to be thrown instead of getting to be thrown. They're all forced hucks, not really anything in flow. So let's see if they can get a little more freedom in the backfield and actually get some quality looks that they want to take rather than they have to take.
Thanks so much, Bjorn. To your point, Colorado 2 of 5, 40% on Hucks. You compare that to Oakland 6 of 6, 100% in the first quarter. As Thomas Brewster catches the first under here for Colorado. Elliott tries to go up line, but that's a turnover intercepted by Robinson. He had a bookend point in the first quarter.
Yeah, and so much pressure on these handlers. I mean, we've said it from the beginning, and Bjorn just alluded to it again. It's just like, and they're asking a lot from Tim Elliott.
Anton Orm gets fouled by Brewster, so he gets to walk the disc up 10 yards. Throw to space to Valley, inches shy of the goal line. Push pass over the mark.
Oh, my.
And second quarter starts just like the first did, with another Oakland break.
That's very humbling when you get beat with the, what do you call that, an elevator push pass? I used to throw that all the time, but we didn't have names for things back in the aughts. We just threw.
Yeah.
The elevator push pass. Oh, my gosh, devastation.
Yeah.
Jason Valley takes you to the valley.
Here in the valley.
Yeah, the valley of the shadow of death, as it turns out, for Colorado.
So, Oakland can't clinch first in the West with a victory tonight by itself. Oakland also needs to win tomorrow in Salt Lake to lock that up. And Colorado, if you missed our discussion either on the pregame show or off the top of the broadcast, Colorado is not eliminated by a loss tonight on its own. There are paths for them to stay alive, keep fighting. They certainly need a lot of help, and some other losses from the likes of Salt Lake and Seattle. But a tough road ahead for the Apex to climb and capture that third playoff spot in the West. Here's Bauman. Swing to Learned. Learned gives and goes. That's up. It's up. Learned's a yard out. Throw over the traffic, and Ben Harris is there in the back corner. And that's Colorado's first goal since 10:08 of the first quarter.
That's not a good sign. If you're a gardener, that means the plants are dying. But Learned is just such a shooter. He's always looking for the end zone and just kind of stays committed. I kind of love his mentality. He's always, if somebody's willing to make a cut to catch a goal, he's probably looking at you and he's probably going to try to find a way to throw it to you. And, the windows are going to be tight. They're going to need guys like Alan to just hit some tight windows, and he's the man for the job. I mean, honestly, that should have been his second assist, because that first deep shot, as difficult of a moment as it was, probably should have been caught by Perlman.
Clyburn centering to Gordon. There's the swing to McCall. Boyd Flegel steps into a flick. Nobody was following Raquan Atkins, as he's got all kinds of time and space in the end zone. And, Chuck, when I look at that goal, and I'm reminded of the only other game that Raquan played here in Colorado. That was his third pro game back on June 4th, 2023. He had 4 goals, 1 assist, and 182 receiving yards as a rookie.
Here's the deep shot. You can see Atkins just all alone. It's got to be a blown assignment. But, he's a superstar. I mean, he's not exactly a new name in the world of Ultimate. And you just really have to contain him. He's absolutely looking for that great throw, great timing. And that's a little too easy.
You think Oakland's got the most dangerous O-line in the association?
I don't think so.
Who do you think holds that title? I'm going to put you on the spot.
Yeah, most dangerous is interesting. I mean, recency bias with Minnesota, but I'd probably go with someone in the East.
Okay.
Yeah.
Boston
I'll
or
go.
New York?
Is Babbitt playing O or like if he's on O, I'd say.
Babbitt's been hurt. As here's a deep shot from Min Fink looking for Jay Frood. That's a beautiful shot, one you were calling for, Chuck.
Yep, got to take that.
And Frood flips it to a wide open Tim Elliott.
Apex score.
4th goal of the game for the
Elliott,
Apex.
Jay Frood with the assist.
Yeah, if you're thinking lately who's got the best offense, that's a good one. I mean, I always like watching New York.
Yeah,
I don't know if they're the best offense.
Yeah, I feel like they have the potential to be the most dangerous O-line. They just haven't quite played up to the most dangerous O-line yet this season.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, who would you say?
For my money, I think it's Oakland.
I think Oakland's at 1. I mean, yeah, I don't have a lot to say against what you're saying.
They just do such a good job of making space for each other. Everything on the field is a threat, whether they're moving laterally, whether somebody's clearing out and striking deep. They cascade down the break side so smoothly. As we have a whistle, I believe the clock was not appropriately adjusted either before this poll was released or as it was fielded.
Yeah, and looks like they're gonna have to repool, start over. So, but yeah, revisiting with Oakland, yeah, the timing is so good, and good offense. You want to take what the defense gives you, and I think they really embody that. It does feel like they don't care how they beat you. Like they'll go break, they'll go this way, they'll take it to, they'll give it to Atkins, they'll let Frankenberg work. It does sort of seem like they have that open stance to like whatever defense you want to throw against us, we're just gonna beat it. We're not stat chasers. We're not here for ego. And we'll take whatever you give us. It's been easy. I mean, watching them play.
No pun intended with those Oregon guys on this O-line, Chandler and Raekwon.
Yeah, no pun intended.
Cool. Here's Leo Gordon. Marked tightly by Theo Kim. Here's the former Callahan winner, Clyburn. So much space for Boyd Flegel. Hunter May had his hand up in the air. He was like, hey, what the heck, man? I definitely got picked.
Right.
So
this is the do-over point. We're trying out a new thing called doing it over.
How many more do-overs we got before this point ends?
My money's on at least one more.
Okay. All right. We'll hold you to that, Chuck.
Let's just do it again. Let's start over.
Clyburn to Gordon. Adkins open again. Power position.
And you just see how they're just taking whatever you give them. Like, oh, if you're gonna give me a step up line, I'm just gonna keep going, catch it again, move the disc, reverse the field. They don't care. They'll take whatever you want to give them. It's fun to watch.
Boyd Flegel sending Gordon. Kim trying to make up ground. This one's hanging, but Gordon makes the grab. The official says he was not in the end zone, and there's the offhand backhand. Almost another turnover from Leo, but it's caught by Mo Aweiss, who was a last-minute activation. He is fresh off a high school national invite championship with Albany.
And he caught the championship goal, I believe. That's what I was told.
This is his 4th game of the season with the Spiders. Member of the U20 World Squad. Has yet to throw a turnover this season as we get one more look. Folks, if you think Leo Gordon is just a handler, think again.
Yeah, reads that beautifully. Watch this. A little underthrown. I mean, he had steps, and they let Kim get all the way back into the play. I thought Kim for sure had that.
Yep.
But, yeah, seconds and inches for Leo, and he gets it done on that one. Not old enough to have a number. They gave him 0.
Is that what that was?
Yeah.
You got the story?
They said, you're a minor. We're going to give you a 0.
Hard-hitting journalism brought to you by Chuck Kindred.
The Association.
Here's Nanda Min Fink working with Tim Elliott.
Yeah, need more from Nanda. Really needs to get going.
What are you seeing from this defense here, Chuck?
Well, I just think downfield there's not a lot to look at. So then they're able to just pile on pressure on these resets. Look at that. I mean, look at that throw. Just to get something going downfield, Tim has to matrix his way through 3 defenders.
Ferris trying to connect with Gould, but it goes through Austin's hands. And now Vickers, Batsdorf, and Lankford can try and march in another break.
Yeah, I think the problem that Colorado's going to have this whole game is they're just going to have a hard time with the deep game. They're not going to be able to hit reliable hucks. When you don't do that, the whole field collapses.
Here's Valley. Maxig. Getting it off the line. There's Chang. Valley to Swearing. You can see those throws just keep cascading and keep moving horizontally, stretching the defense as Burns is in the red zone now. Valley sneaks up line, continuing to Swearing. Goal number 3 for Max.
Yeah, nice patient work from Oakland to just kind of navigate through that pressure, break the mark, reverse the field, and eventually they just get a nice flow down that backhand side. And, you know, we talked about Colorado's struggles just moving the disc on offense. Here's the end of this point for Oakland. Just crashes the mark and opens it up, and down the line we go.
So another swing line here for the Apex as they try and find their footing here in the second quarter. We got Learned, Andrew Mueller, Bjorn making some young fans' evenings. I don't think that kid knows it's Bjorn's birthday. They got to be giving him discs.
That's right. Or at least have him sign it. Something, right?
Something. Learned fielding and centering to Bauman. I beg your pardon, that was Pruce. And now the disc is with Learned.
And Hunter May downfield, single coverage.
Gets it from Mueller. Pumps the deep shot.
Wow. I mean, look at that. Look at that reset. Very difficult reset.
Harris coming under. Learned continues to May. Shea takes off. Throw goes up. Orms defending, but Penn and Shea makes the grab.
Yeah, great look. You have to take that shot. Ben and Shea with a step deep. One of the top goal scorers in the league for a reason. Just give him a chance to make a play. And good job by Colorado. You know, you have to adjust a little bit, throw to some tighter windows. And again, you know, the offense is all about taking what they give you. You know, you make hard cuts, you make good tight throws, you run through the disc, but the margins are going to be a little tighter here. So I love that Hunter May got involved, got the disc downfield, and then they get a deep shot to Ben and Shea, who closes it out. I mean, you might have to throw some 500s to Ben and Shea and just see how good this guy is. He might be really good. Any good pickup player will tell you. There's only one way to find out. Throw it.
So after the turn, we're just going to play 500 for the Colorado D-line offense?
I mean, listen, nobody's ever asked me to coach a team, all right? Not my thing.
And you're not auditioning right now? You don't want an offer for next season?
You couldn't pay me enough to coach a Frisbee team.
Really?
Really.
Okay. Great pull there from the Apex. Clyburn deep in his own end zone. Frankenberg slashing across, chased by Shea. Massive gainer for Boyd Flegel. Frankenberg in power position, steps into the flick. Is there too much on this one for Reese? Just a hair as it goes past the outstretched arms of the Oregon product.
Yeah, and I think if there was a big, pretty slip and slide with a clown's mouth and a pool, he might have laid out a little more bold and made that catch. A little tentative, a little late, and that's all it took.
Second timeout of the first half here, used by the Colorado coaching staff. Jonathan Amonforti, the white hat tonight, working with Carlo DePena, Hank Carey, and Eric Silva as we listen into this timeout huddle.
We'll start in our 3-1-3, but let's not be married to this position. They're going to bracket us, right? Let's have CT picking up with Jared back. We won't be that far. Let's get Nanda kind of roaming in the middle here. Let's get Brew down the line here. Jay on top of Nanda in that roamer spot. I'll be far side over here. Yeah.
Good. Me real quick. Cutters, when we go through their coverage with big, long lanes, we get open all the time. Handlers, when we chisel through, we get everything. Okay? Handlers are chippy. Cutters are big.
Yep.
Hey, once we get that motion forward, let's get into vert quickly.
Yeah. Oh, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Oh, hey, just a read. Quick read.
So you can see this O-line pretty committed to the 3-1-3 structure. That's what they're trusting. And awesome work by our crew to give you that all 14 vantage point. Elliott swinging to Gould. Minfink coming under. Quick bounce back to Gould. Knopp around to Brewster. Great to see him playing some more O. Not too long ago, he was a 40-goal scorer for this O-line.
Yeah, they really are happy to have him back.
Here's Gould near midfield. Elliott. A little frustration there. He wanted something, but didn't like what was in front of him. Gould going cross field. This one's hanging. Ferris stabs it. 3 yards out. He's going to draw the foul from Burns, so he'll get the disc centered on the attacking goal line.
On the catch.
Yeah, nice look. I mean, you know, tighter windows than they're used to throwing to there, but I think Gould did the right thing by just dialing it up and letting Seth Ferris make a play.
Seth Ferris to center the disc, putting it in.
Ferris double teamed. Scoobers back to Elliott. Minfink. Frood. Brewster wide open at the front. And Colorado rewarded after taking that timeout to convert the break.
Yeah, great job by them just resetting, you know, refocusing, and nice progress down the field. You know, like you said, Tim Elliott got the disc in power position, wanted to see something going on downfield. Wasn't there. They just kept moving the disc, finding Gould, doing what they need to do. Here's the deep shot to Reese. At sea level, this is a clap catch. But here in the high desert of Golden, Colorado, it doesn't work. Seth Ferris with a nice play, gets backpacked by Dylan Burns, and the red zone offense delivers. So signs of life here. Thomas Brewster, good to see him back in the end zone.
So Oakland on the first night of a 2-game road trip. They head to Salt Lake tomorrow evening, and you know, this coaching staff, of course, isn't looking too far ahead. This is a team that's coming off its first loss of the season. And talking to Liam Kreis, the way he frames it is, hey, oftentimes a loss like the one we suffered against Minnesota 2 weeks ago on Friday Night Frisbee, a great team, a big stage, a loss like that ends your season. As Boyd Flegel catches past a bidding Hunter May and then catches the goal there from Dexter Clyburn. But to finish Kreis's point, you know, fortunately for Oakland, that was just a regular season test. And I feel like they learned a lot from it, how they need to operate in the wind, how great teams like Minnesota can operate in the wind. And they're treating this like, hey, prove that you can win on the road to earn the right to come back home and have home field advantage in the playoffs, and maybe let this road trip be a little simulation for championship weekend if you can get there.
Yeah, I think it's good to get. And it's hard, like mentally, it was always hard for me to be undefeated going into elimination games. So, you know, if I'm on Oakland, I'm thrilled that we got a loss. I don't want to lose. I never try to lose, but I just think mentally, I mean, you know, part of the reason they've come out here on fire is because they're bouncing back from a loss, you know, and Colorado's catching the brunt of that. But yeah, mentally, I don't know, being undefeated, it's just very hard. It puts a lot of pressure on you.
Frood, stall count rising, through Minfink's hands.
Apex turn.
Goss resetting to Robinson. And here's Anton Orm under 2 minutes remaining here in the first half.
Frood down, holding his knee or his ankle maybe. Ooh, might have just gotten cleated. I didn't see it.
So if there was contact, he's allowed to stay on the field after the injury call. But if it was non-contact, he has to go off. Looks like it was just a stinger if he's going to stay out on the field.
Anton with the disc.
So it looked like Oakland tried to sub Walker Frankenberg on the field, but Jay Frood didn't actually take an injury sub, so Oakland actually not allowed to make that substitution, so Walker has to go back to the sidelines.
Jay Frood says nay. I will continue to play. Have a seat, young man.
And as Jonathan Monforti lets us know over the PA, that's a delay of game foul, 5-yard penalty against the Spiders, but they're moving and grooving here. Minute 30 left to go in the half, and Jay Frood comes flying out of nowhere to get the ball back for the offense.
I mean, just a superhero of a player. This guy's one of the older guys on the team. He's getting a layout run through Dion and under. Incredible.
Elliott down the line looking for Gould. He's on the doorstep. Flips it to Brewster. Signs of life from the apex. And the butt spike is back, folks.
How do you know Thomas Brewster's back? Butt spikes. Classing up the joint, but in the end zone, that's where he always is. He's just got a nose for the end zone. There's certain players that do. And guys like Gould, look at this layout team from Frood. Just gets there first, full extension.
Tough.
And Gould needs to learn how to jump a little bit. But Brewster happy to take the goal.
Jay Frood is 36 years old, folks. He's still freaking got it.
Yeah, incredible. And just to be able to rely on him with the disc, too. I mean, he did have a turnover there, but I think, honestly, he took the best throw that was available, got it off before the stall. There's just nobody open.
Roller pull from Aylin Learned. It's going to give Colorado a chance to set a double team here. 59 seconds remaining in the first half. Clyburn with the scoober to Gordon. Sorry, Chuck.
I wouldn't want to double team Clyburn. The guy's just...
Well, they're trying it again, and he gets out of it once more.
He's just too strong and got too many throws.
Roger that.
Adkins and Boyd Flegel playing catch. Clyburn to Boyd Flegel. He just can't be stopped, nor can the Spiders' offense on this point. Here's Adkins. Back to Clyburn. Has anyone held the disc for more than 2 seconds this point, Chuck?
This is a clinic. This is Plinko.
McCall back to Adkins, 15 seconds now. McCall surveying his options. Clyburn with 10 seconds. Frankenberg, Adkins, Boyd Flegel. And what a point there from the Spiders offense. It's now 13-7 with 4 seconds remaining in the first half.
Yeah, and just so many touches. You know, the disc never stops moving. And as a defender, you know, when you're not involved in the play, when you're not the thrower or the receiver, it's so hard to stay in position because the disc never stops moving. You can never actually get your bearings. You can never actually contain your man. The lanes are just wide open, and Oakland has been exploiting that this whole game.
So Oakland won the first quarter 7-2.
Works perfect because you want to be a background character, you know. But then
and they're leading the second quarter 6-5. Let's see if Colorado can capitalize on a pressure-filled end-of-quarter situation here. Ferris uncorks the backhand. It's a huge OI. Is this going to come back in? Anton Orm's going to make sure it doesn't. And that'll do it for the first half here in Colorado.
Yeah, tough sledding for the Apex. Oakland came here to win. This is a team that was not too happy to lose to Minnesota a couple weeks ago, and they're not planning on losing tonight. I think These guys are really coming out to punch Colorado in the mouth and establish that they're the #1 team in the West and looking to win a title this year.
Colorado is 2 for 2 on breaks, but Oakland 7 for 9. And Bjorn Shea standing by with Oakland head coach Liam Kreis. Bjorn?
And of course, a replica jersey or sun hoodie.
You won the first quarter by 5. You won the second quarter only by 1. Is that a product of maybe you guys letting up a little bit, or were the Apex
Colorado Apex is excited to have their official hype band here.
There were a couple things that we didn't quite execute on in our game plan there, and so we talked about that.
Are supported by
Great. Anything
Premier
specific you can tell us that you really want to tighten up to really put this game out of question?
I think Colorado's a great hugging team, and that's one of their big strengths. I think if we can force them to play kind of small ball, I think we have a much better chance to win. So flatter marks, taking away players like Nanda and Seth's hooks is a big part.
All right. Good luck in the second half, Coach.
Thanks so much.
See ya.
Thank you, Bjorn.
Yes, sir. Back to you guys.
And Oakland with the 13-7 lead here at the half. 1 half down, another one to go here on Friday Night Frisbee. A gorgeous night in Golden continues. We'll have top 10 highlights, stats, and analysis here as halftime rolls on.
Every player in the UFA dreams of competing at championship weekend, and you can also experience this magical event on August 27th and 28th at Breeze Stevens Field in Madison. Semifinal Thursday features all 4 division champs, and then Friday includes youth clinics, the second ever WLPUL All-Star Game, and of course the 2026 UFA Championship Showdown. Single day tickets along with full weekend and VIP passes are on sale now. We can't wait to see you this August at Championship Weekend in Madison, the capital city of Ultimate. It's a rivalry that goes back to 2013, a clash of styles, and a history of close, down-to-the-wire finishes. The Indianapolis AlleyCats and the Madison Radicals, next week on Friday Night Frisbee.
The Oakland Spiders showing why they're in first place in the West Division. A 13-7 lead over the Colorado Apex here on Friday Night Frisbee. Ian Toner with Chuck Kindred. And Chuck, let's take a look back at some of these first half highlights. It was really all Spiders from the start.
Yeah, they came out hot, established their dominance early. This is one of the first offensive possessions, a double team point block, looking for the foul, but no foul is coming. No help is coming. And, Oakland getting in the end zone. We talked a lot about just how they're playing offense. They're just being very, just not willful. They're taking whatever's available. They're not getting stubborn. They're not forcing things. Couple highlights from Colorado for sure. Deep shot to Jay Fruit. I mean, Jay Fruit has been dialing it back in the first half, making some incredible plays. But here's Seamus Anderson getting in the middle, breaking up a would-be goal, and then catching this throw to space.
Yeah, he just kind of gets lost here in the defensive coverage.
Right. I mean, he wasn't even really cutting. It just kind of made eye contact and the throw goes up. So, I mean, it's been that kind of night for Oakland. They're just kind of saying, hey, there's an opportunity over there. I'm going to throw it over there, and we'll see what happens. Here's that throw to space to Seamus.
Walker Frankenberg has been active. He did have a turnover there. Andrew Mueller, one of the guys the Colorado coaching staff called out as having an incredible week of practice, brought the spice. He's definitely brought the effort here tonight, but still a lot of work left to do for Colorado in this one.
Yeah, and here's Nondeman Fink opening up the deep shot. Jay Frood making him look good. You know, big first half, and just like tough sledding, not a lot of good lanes to throw to. Here's a deep shot that somehow Leo Gordon gets up and over and makes the catch on. But yeah, you know, Hunter May getting into the mix, throwing it deep to Ben and Shea. I'd love to see them just take some shots to Ben and Shea whenever they're available. This guy's shown that he's an elite receiver, an elite goal scorer. Adam Reese not quite able to close out on that deep shot. Here's Seth Ferris making the catch and one. And that leads to the throw to Thomas Brewster. Nice to see Brewster back in the mix. He had a couple goals in the first half. Big layout D here from Jay Frood. I mean, just incredible. You know, future Hall of Famer. Here's a shot to Gould. Gould finishes to Brewster. And, you know, I think really, you know, Oakland came out and just took the first quarter by storm. Came out and just thumped Colorado in the first quarter, and that's been the story so far.
Yeah, that was a 3-0 run, and then a 2-goal response from the Apex, and then a 4-0 vault from the Spiders. As we look at these stats here, what jumps out to you, Chuck?
Well, Colorado's a high turnover team, and that's happening again here tonight. You know, I think they're maybe, you know, top 5 in the league for turnovers per game. They might be second or third. And, you know, something about Oakland is they don't huck that often, but they're a very, very high percentage, the most high percentage hucking team in the league. And per game, they get the most blocks of any team. So they're just going to be a tough team to execute your offensive game plan against.
The Spiders looking smooth on the first night of their West Division road trip. What kind of answer will Colorado have in the second half? Stick with us here on the UFA YouTube channel, the third quarter, live from Golden in just a few moments.
This summer, Ultimate takes over the world. From the rising stars of World Junior Ultimate Championships to the seasoned battles of the World Masters Ultimate Club Championships to the biggest stage in Club Ultimate, the World Ultimate Club Championships. Watch it all unfold live, exclusively on Ultiworld.
Division playoff hunt. Unfortunately, they won't have the head-to-head against the Salt Lake Shred if they end up with the same record at the end of the season. Of course, they split the season series, but goal differential between those two games heavily tilted in Salt Lake's favor. And so Colorado needs a lot of losses from the Cascades the rest of the way, and perhaps a big victory against the Cascades next Friday here in Golden. Anything else that you're really keyed into here in these divisional playoff hunts? I think the South is most intriguing, Chuck.
Yeah, I mean, just to get a taste of what San Diego's up against, they came in here and played such a good game, and they've had two overtime losses to the Soul? I mean, kind of it's amazing that they're still on the hunt with the competition they're up against. But, yeah, I mean, the South, as usual, is a bloodbath. It's I mean, I'm happy for the Austin Soul. They've had close games, but in talking to Rich Slayton, who covers them, he said, especially in those close games, those overtime games, like Kyle Henke's kind of showing you what he's made of in those little moments, in those are we going to win or lose moments. Kyle Henke's showing what he's always been about. I mean, he is just a winner and he's a workhorse, and Austin is in position.
And paying attention to those standings, those are live and updated with tonight's results because the Carolina Flyers beat the Atlanta Hustle. That outcome was not guaranteed. 21-20 victory for Carolina. That one went to overtime with the Flyers winning the overtime battle 3-2. And so Carolina licking its chops as it looks forward to Austin's trip to the Southeast in July. That'll
be interesting. I mean, Carolina always sort of feels like an alpha to me, and Atlanta is such a tough out. So, yeah, I mean, you look at that and you say, okay, Austin's in one, but really it's just going to be a fight.
Week 12, Friday, July 10th at 7 p.m. Eastern, Austin in Carolina is going to be one to watch as Ollie Cunningham gets one more souvenir handed off before we start the second half, as the sun has set behind the Rockies here in Golden.
Yeah, Hunter May bouncing, looking fired up. They need him to have a big half. I really think, like, with his size on defense, I'd like to see him front a bit. We saw him do that in the first half, and he got a block that was called back on a throwing foul, I believe. But great play by him. And turnovers are just, they're tough to come by.
Yeah, just one more note as we were looking at those South Division standings. I mean, that loss was a backbreaker for Atlanta. If you think about what that game means, the remaining games for San Diego, they've got some winnable ones against Houston and Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
And they also have the head-to-head over Atlanta, having beat them in San Diego earlier this season. So the Growlers got to be liking tonight's results as
there's
the
Hunter
Apex
May.
fans have to like the start of this second half, an interception from Hunter May.
Yeah, Hunter May does exactly what we were hoping he would do, gets out and gets a block. And that's what they're going to need. His size and his athleticism has to come to bear in this game. Wow, another big play from Hunter.
May resetting to Bauman. Bauman offhand. Throw down the line. Frankenberg trying to make up the ground, but Ben and Shea snags it and spikes it.
Yeah, and he's the guy you want to just take a shot with. Ben and Shea, he can make you look really good. He can climb the ladder. He's also just got a nose for the end zone. He's always looking for that angle, looking for the opportunity to get a throw. And we've seen a couple tight margins thrown to Ben and Shea, and both of them have been relatively easy one-handed catches. Here's the setup. Hunter May doing work, reads that play beautifully. And here you get another angle for
he
it.
just kind of jumped the route. That's like a cornerback knowing, hey, he's about to run his button hook, and I'm going to take the angle.
Yeah, I mean, Hunter May he's just an athlete. I mean, we've seen it for years now, and you'd love to see him just kind of take over here. Got to keep his pools inbound, though.
So a break to start the second half for the Apex. That's the third break of the game for Colorado, as we see a swing line out here for the Spiders. Adkins near midfield. Burns slashes under. Reset to Magsig. Offhand to Valley. Here's Lankford. Valley stepping around to Magsig. That was pretty stuff, Chuck.
Yeah, that was nice. Just froze the mark. And Magsig doing something that I'm not familiar with. I do miss San Diego sometimes. I like their cheers a little better.
You want to see KJ Crew milking the cow again?
I want to see anything that Max Gibson wants to do. That's what I want to see.
Oh, man.
But yeah, watch. So Valley gets the disc, and watch him just kind of freeze the mark and then throw that little bounce underneath his hand. That's tough.
Jason Valley has been such a versatile part of this Spiders lineup. Able to play on O or D and marshal the attack.
And Magsig found the range on that pull. Really nice. Gets it to the back of the end zone with a nice big bend.
Elliott finds Ferris.
I mean, that throw should be a point.
Elliott's got him. He's got the bag. Minfink pulling the trigger. This is Villeneuve versus Frood. Oh, Frood got a fingertip on it. Couldn't bring it down.
Villeneuve is tough, too. I mean, he's such a big guy, reads the disc well, he seems to get it at the apex every time, no pun intended. That's tough. That's tough to catch over Villeneuve.
Anton Orm. There's Lincoln Grench. Back to Orm. Chang finding Robinson. Magsig coming back to the disc, but instead it goes to Chang. Little impromptu double team there. Magsig is open. Orm is closer to the end zone. Back to Magsig. Did that stay up? No, it didn't.
Yeah,
that is... Sorry, Chuck, go ahead.
Little miscommunication there. Looked like Magsig had already pulled off his cut. But Colorado's got a chance.
Knopp. Hits Elliott. And not sure if it was a pick call. Offensive foul as called by head official Jonathan Monforti. Here's a big gainer. Oh, off Gould's fingertips. Looked like he was going to get that one, and there was no contact there. So as he calls this injury, he's going to have to step off the field.
Yeah, something happened on the wind up to that jump. Hopefully he's okay. But that jump clearly did not go as planned.
So looks like Dan Bauman is going to take his place, and the Spiders are going to sub Walker Frankenberg on in place of Dylan Villeneuve.
Boy, that's nice, right? If you're a coach, you say, you know who I'm going to bring in? Walker Frankenberg. How's that sound to everyone?
Yeah.
That'll work.
Who says no? Frankenberg up the line. Catches the blade. Throws the assist.
Boy, just like that.
And that was a break for the Spiders.
There's Itai having fun. Itai's got a YouTube channel, which you might want to check out. I think that's how he makes most of his living. Obviously, he gets paid a handsome salary from the Oakland Spiders.
Of course.
But
Jackson Stearns and company sparing no expense.
That's right. How do you think you get a guy like Walker Frankenberg? You got to show him that money. Itai never looks rattled, by the way. Like, he's been in some really tough spot, double teams, like some miscommunications. He just never looks anything but relaxed out there.
I'm with you. He's got the poise. He's got the positive vibes. Quick check around the league. If you do have a WatchUFA.tv subscription, other games unfolding that you can get going on a separate screen or monitor or device. Seattle with a 2-1 lead on Oregon. And Houston with a 3-2 lead on Vegas. Vegas still winless in franchise history, and Evan Lepler and some of the other league writers saying this might be one of Vegas's best chances to secure a victory.
Yeah, you'd like to see that franchise get going.
Shea throws around the double team, gets it back from Learned. There's Bauman. Bruce with a bullet to Mueller.
And I mean, what is it going to take to get more Bruce out there? I feel like when he's out there, things look pretty good. And he's taking shots and he's scoring goals and he's making good defensive plays. I want more Logan Bruce.
I'm doing the feeding motion.
Right.
Just feed the man.
Yeah, look at that. You want to know how you can prevent Valley from getting a D? You throw it at 100 miles an hour. That's how, pretty simple. That's some Milwaukee logic.
Yeah, that was a Brewers fastball. Right
yeah, throw it harder. I love that.
So Oakland leading 15-9 here on Friday Night Frisbee. We mentioned earlier they got to go to Salt Lake tomorrow night. They had never beaten Salt Lake until their victory over the Shred on May 2nd, a 25-15 thumping of Bryce Merrill's squad. And, of course, by that logic, they have never beaten Salt Lake in Salt Lake because that victory was in Oakland. So they got a chance to knock off some franchise firsts on this road trip, getting a potential first win here in Colorado if this margin holds, and then a first win in Salt Lake if they can take care of business tomorrow night. And that would clinch first place heading into the playoffs for the Spiders, and they would be hosting the West Division title game, as there's another easy score for Adam Reese.
Yeah, just reversing the field, taking what the defense has given them. Easy peasy. But yeah, I mean, this is one of the toughest road trips in the league. And I think, if I'm Oakland coming in here knowing that they got to play Salt Lake tomorrow night, you want to get a win early. And that's kind of what they did. They came out and gave you 100% in the first quarter, got a lead, and have just been holding on to it for the most part. I mean, they really haven't expanded their lead, which, if you're Coach Kreis, you might say, hey, guys, I want to expand this lead. I want a 10-point lead by the end of the quarter. And just lay that out as a challenge to the boys and see if they can get it done.
Well, and that's something, they were winning games by 10 goals or more through their first 5 contests of the regular season. So it's not like this group doesn't have it in them. Here's Fruit.
And Nondaman Fink makes a deep cut there. I like that. I think he needs to stretch the field a little bit and not get stuck behind the disc.
And he just made tons of space there for Brewster, who gets it off the line to Fruit.
Yeah, the downfield looks a little more open than it did in the first half. I think there is an opportunity here for Colorado to attack deep.
Gould going down the line for Knopp. Money shot there from Austin Gould.
Yeah, really pretty look. There actually wasn't that easy of a lane to throw to. There was a poacher, I believe, in the lane, and then you had help off the backside. He needed to keep that out in front and low and tight. And he was kind of throwing it off balance. Really a high caliber throw from Gould. You can see the setup here. Catches it, is looking downfield, and has to kind of just let it go. I mean, basically, Stahl's about to run out. Knopp gives him something to look at, but great shape, great throw. 6-point lead. I mean, it's been a 6-point lead since the end of the first, right?
It went out to Jay.
Just about. It was 7-2 after one. It's a little larger.
Gotcha.
Hey, there's Tim Kafalis just pumping in the energy on the sidelines. You know what I'm always thinking in these situations? I'm JP and Angels in the outfield. Hey, it could happen. It could happen.
Hey, belief's a muscle, and mine's bigger than yours. That's how you win.
Clyburn off the line to Gordon, who continues to McCall. McCall gets it back in power position. Frankenberg with another red zone touch here and just leads McCall to space. I mean, woof.
That was pretty. We like that. Good ultimate really kind of speaks for itself. And when you watch that point, you're like, oh, that was sweet. Let me get that guy to sign my shirt.
I just look at the vibes. The smiles are out. Everybody's body language is super loose. I mean, yes, you'd expect that with a 7-goal lead here on the road, but you can tell that this group actually enjoys each other, and that makes a big difference. This isn't a team of all-stars imports from different parts of the country, just kind of mercenaries thrown together. These are guys that just love being good together.
Yeah, there's I don't know what you call it, but yeah, just like a healthy ego too. Like there's confidence, but there's a lot of just, hey, I'm here to make you look good. You know, like when you get to a point where you have good chemistry and a good healthy ego on the team, it's about making your teammates look good. It's not about scoring a goal yourself. It's about setting your teammate up to win. And that's what you're seeing from Oakland. That's like the championship switch that teams start to make is like, look, I'm more invested in your success than my own.
Another bullet off the line there from Elliott. He's had some really nice shots tonight.
It's amazing.
Holsters that one to Frood. Takes the easy swing back to Minfink. Nanda looking hammer. Of course, Jay catches it. Here's Gould. Over to Minfink. How about the ball moving on this point, Chuck?
Yeah, moving it around. Not waiting either, you know, take the first shot.
Oh, yeah, Nanda. Have yourself a little upline cut.
Yeah, that's what they need. I mean, honestly, Nanda's been back behind the disc, real quiet night. That is not what Colorado needs from him. I mean, they need him to get hungry and head towards the end zone. That's what he's been doing here in the third quarter, and he gets paid off on
it. Pretty quick disc movement on that point from the apex. As we look at this finishing sequence, Minfink says, that's mine, thank you.
Yeah, nice quick throw. Doesn't give the help defender the chance to get into that play at all. And Colorado, so, you know, like we said, like they want to develop talent, see what they've got where it counts. Look at this. Is that a bowling pin?
Chuck, I need your help, man. I don't know.
I think that's a bowling pin, or it's Popeye's like ex-girlfriend. I'm going to go with a bowling pin.
Okay, Ben and Shea comes close to a block. Whew. Here's Adkins. To Boyd Flegel. As we look at the beautiful sunset here in Golden. Reese down the line to Frankenberg. He's still got all the juice, Chuck.
Yeah, Walker looks pretty tired out there. He might need a blow. My goodness. I mean, that's what we talked about. He's kind of like an engine. You know, you can lean on him. You can just funnel the offense through him. You can just let guys key off him. And when I was a young player, I loved being on a team with a guy like that because that helps me kind of reset my energy. That helps me walk out onto the field feeling confident because this guy's on my team.
Can I put you on the spot and ask who some of your teammates were that kind of filled that role?
I'm trying to think of somebody with his energy. I mean, I always felt really confident stepping on the field with Robbie Cahill.
Oh, yeah, of course.
It's like,
well,
who wouldn't? Yeah, I remember he was going up against Brian Stout, I think, who's like 6'5".
Yeah.
And he was like going up and like defending him in the air. And I was like, I mean, this guy's not even what he does, and he's doing it. So it's like, I always felt confident. And, you know, I was a nervous player. I was not, you know, I would pretend like I was calm, but let me just tell you, I wasn't.
Robbie, one of the forefathers of the men's ultimate scene in the Bay Area.
Oh, yeah, legend.
Won a bunch of medals with the club team revolver that a lot of these Spiders currently play on as well in other parts of the season.
Nice movement from Colorado. Robbie was great, too. I mean, he proves that you can throw a two-handed bounce backhand and be a champion.
Here's Elliott. Back to Minfink. What a find for Ferris.
Yeah, lots of space. Look at this. Seamus just saying, I'll take all of your guys.
Oh, did that work?
Yeah, caught the deflection.
Oh, man. I mean, I know we love to say catch your blocks, and sometimes that's easier said than done, but that's kind of a perfect illustration of that.
Right. You know, I mean, you think back to the block he had at the other end zone in the first half. It's kind of like a spike catch block, and I think he was going for the same thing there. It's like sometimes simple is a little better.
What a find there from Nanda.
But, yeah, just the position. I mean, there's 3 guys that Seth can throw to, and somehow he gives Seamus a look at it. I mean, the fact that he was even able to touch that is kind of like a blemish on Seth Ferris's record, in my opinion.
No butt spike on that point from Tommy Brew, though.
Yeah, he didn't earn it.
We think something's wrong?
He didn't earn it.
Okay.
He knows that wasn't his goal.
Hunter May with another inbounds pull. Fielded by Clyburn, center to Gordon. Nice break. Out to Oweiss. McCall to Frankenberg. Wow. Clyburn's taken off. It doesn't go.
Great cut. Not a great angle for Frankenberg to throw to, but beautiful cut from Dexter.
Boyd Flegel. The saucy inside flick. On a platter, even here in the thin elevated air.
Yeah, really nice angle. And just, man, I feel like that's the first time tonight where we've seen Clyburn go to full speed, and it's just impressive. I mean, it's easy to think of him as just a thrower. He's a star. He's hamming it up for the camera. But yeah, when he makes a move, I mean, as a thrower, if I see him cut, I kind of just want to throw it, just because of how he's cutting.
Doesn't matter what the matchup is. Doesn't matter what the separation is or lack thereof.
Yeah, if he's got one step and his eyes look like that, I'm throwing.
19-12, Oakland. Here in the waning stages of the third quarter as we check back in with bowling.
It's like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo and a bowling pin. It's just a normal night here at a Colorado Apex
I wonder
home
if
game.
we could send Bjorn up to the stands and
that would be epic.
See if we can get some thoughts, some explanation on what went into that outfit choice. Here's Knopp. Frood gets it off to Knopp. Big swing hanging. Frood brings it in. Nice inside to Min Fink. Nobody's cutting deep for him, though.
Yeah, Ferris opening up the field, gets the under. This is the time to cut deep, folks. When Ferris gets the disc under, he needs to go.
35 seconds left to go here in the quarter. Min Fink. Looking for Gould. Elliott with 25. Here's Min Fink with 20. Double team. And he actually got fouled there. So Min Fink's going to get the disc back and gain 10 yards. Not that the double team in and of itself is illegal. It's the contact with the thrower that's illegal. Reset to Elliott. 15 seconds now. Bluffs the hammer. Frood makes the grab with 10. There's Min Fink with 4, 3. The throw across to Elliott. He's in the end zone as time expires in the third quarter. Colorado back within 6.
Yeah, Nanda just sort of had that look in his eyes. You just felt like he was going to find a way to throw a goal, and he does. Stays patient. Physical mark. Has to step back and carve that angle out to Tim Elliott, but gets it done. And I wouldn't say it's a close game, but they're keeping it at 6.
Colorado stays even there in the third quarter. Oakland with a 19-13 lead here in Golden.
The Ultimate Frisbee Association is proud to partner with Victory. Elevate your game with Victory insoles and recovery footwear at VKTRY.com. Delta THC Seltzers. No calories, no sugar, no alcohol. Catch life's moments at drinkdelta.com. Two Town Cider House, bringing the best craft cider for everyday celebrations. Find yours at twotownciderhouse.com. And Disc-It. Round Net meets Ultimate. Disc-It is the must-have portable game for every UFA fan. Get yours at discitgame.com.
The fourth quarter here in Golden, a Friday night Frisbee matchup between Oakland and Colorado. The Spiders looking like the class of the West Division with a 19-13 lead. Let's check in with Bjorn Shea once again. Bjorn?
Hey guys, since the first quarter, much like the playoff game between these two teams, where the Oakland got out to a big lead in the playoff game, they got into a huge lead here, 7-2. But since then, pretty much even. Colorado's really found their legs, really keeping up with this game, making it an entertaining matchup and showing what Colorado could do. If they had a more focused start, maybe this would be tighter. But as long as they keep playing good Frisbee, that's all you can really ask of the team. So hopefully we have an entertaining, clean finish for this game here.
It's a great point, Bjorn. You take away that 7-2 first quarter for Oakland, which, of course, you can't take away or discount. But aside from that, it's a one-goal game. And Colorado's done a decent job trading here in the second and third quarter as the fourth quarter gets underway, disc in the hands of Austin Gould.
Well, it's worth mentioning, too, that, this is the fourth quarter of a West Coast team that's playing at altitude. A lot of times those teams slow down. They're coming from sea level. They don't have enough red blood cells, if we're being honest.
And that throw off the line, a little too spicy. Short field here for the Spiders.
Yeah, tough angle to throw to there.
I do respect that Elliott is just trying to hit the really tough angles. I mean, he's doing what he can to try and throw people open in tight spots.
It's true. It's hard to do mentally. Like, some guys can't throw to.
A floater from Goss. Ooh. And there's Anton Orm at the front of the end zone.
Yeah, getting some fresh faces involved. Goss to Orm. Coach Price now starting to, open up the roster. And also, it's like they got to play again tomorrow. They got to travel and they got to play again tomorrow at altitude against, probably their toughest opponent in this division. And, flashing back to a couple weeks ago with Minnesota, just watching them, like the physicality that they play with and just how fit they are. It reminds me of Salt Lake. Like, when you go up against Salt Lake, you're just like, geez, did these guys ever get tired?
Yeah.
That's what Minnesota felt like. They just seemed
ages 7 to 14 are welcome to join these 5-day camps. Go to ColoradoApex.com.
It'd be fun to see that matchup again.
And sign up for an Apex Learn to Play Youth Camp near you.
I mean, let's talk about Minnesota-Oakland, the Friday night Frisbee matchup from 2 weekends ago. That could be a championship weekend clash. I feel like...
Yeah, take my money, by the way.
Yeah. Both of those teams played near optimal rosters. Of course, Oakland was missing Ridhaller. I think Minnesota traveled almost everyone. There might have been one or two starters that they were missing. I don't think Micah Davis had broken into the lineup just yet. Here's Hunter May looking for Ben Harris, and he makes a tough grab past Dylan Villeneuve.
And gives Villeneuve the business, rightly so. That was a physical bid.
What would your expectation be if those teams faced off at championship weekend, once again, Minnesota and Oakland?
I think the differentiator, they both have star power and they're both just rolling. Minnesota just, to me, feels mentally tougher. Like, they just don't feel like they move an inch. They also haven't lost a game, so we haven't seen them up against it in a way. But, yeah, I just feel like their resolve, like their commitment, even just what you said, it's like everybody came to that game. Like, nobody's like, I don't want to make the trip out to the West Coast. It's just like total buy-in. Like, it's hard to get buy-in.
And I feel like in years past, the question mark has kind of been their O-line. We've known their defense is always a force to be reckoned with. But with Gordon Larson hanging out behind the disc a little more, with Will Brandt operating in that middle layer a little more.
So tough.
They've found the formula to get that O-line to be more consistent than it ever has been.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask you this. So on that last point, when Will Brandt throws it deep
to Krennic,
yeah, did you think that was like a blown assignment by Leo on the mark? I felt like he gave him way too much to look at with that backhand.
You know what? There were a couple things, and I tried to emphasize this as it was happening live. There were a couple things that I found a little curious about that last point, for the second to last point for the Oakland D-line. One, I thought the timeout call before that point benefited Minnesota more than it did Oakland, because a bunch of those O-line guys had been super gassed from the previous point as Raekwon Adkins scores again and hits the field goal. I think that extra breather for the Minnesota O-line was more advantageous for Minnesota than it was for Oakland to kind of regroup before that penultimate point. And second of all, some of the line calling there, you're putting Leo Gordon out there, you're putting Chandler Boyd-Flegel out there. Those are great players. Those guys haven't been starting D-line, get a block when it absolutely matters players. I'm not saying they can't do that. It just felt like a little deviation from the systems, the line calling, the structure that had been working, and it just all combined to be a weird confluence in that moment for Oakland.
Yeah, and they just became like a bowling pin that you could
knock over
down.
Wow.
I don't know how to tie that together. But yeah, I wonder what the mentality is from Coach Kreis. Maybe he said, I want to see what these guys can do in a moment like this. I want to find this out now, not in the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great point. And, you know, it is also easy for us to dissect things from the booth.
In retrospect,
two weeks afterward.
Right.
I'm sure there were considerations that Kreis and his staff were weighing.
I would have been one step to the left on that mark.
Fink.
Look at that throw.
With the hammer right in the breadbasket to Seth Ferris.
I love this version of Nandam and Fink. I don't know where this has been all night, but like his eyes sharpened up. You know, it's like he had a shot of espresso or something after the halftime, and he's just out here looking a little bit different, looking a little more like I want to know what a goal feels like right now.
So, quick scoreboard check. Colorado fans will be a little disheartened to learn that Seattle is already up 6-3 on Oregon. Of course, Colorado needing Seattle to drop some more L's if they're going to stay alive in the playoff hunt. And Houston with a 6-4 lead on the winless Vegas Bighorns. We've talked a bit about the South Division too, Chuck. Let's just assume, and just for argument's sake, that the three playoff teams are Austin, Carolina, and San Diego.
Which really bothers me because I want Atlanta in. I just want Atlanta in. That bothers me.
Yeah, they just broke through last year, got to championship weekend. They were there. They had a lead in the second half and just couldn't quite hang on to it as McCall sends Frankenberg to the house. If it's those three teams, Carolina, Austin, and San Diego, can I ask who you consider your favorite to advance to Madison?
I mean, I like Carolina out of that group a lot. I think Carolina's really tough. They've had a couple of my favorite games of the year against Atlanta.
Yep.
Fairfax is just in fuego as usual. I don't know. Yeah, I would bet on. I mean, if it was my money, I'd put it on Carolina.
They got Toby Brooks and Zeke Thorson.
Never heard of them.
They were such a big part of Colorado's win here against Oakland last May when the Spiders came to Marquette.
That's true. Yeah, and Toby Brooks kind of reminds me of like a young Steph Curry. Like he just looks like a baby out there, but he's destroying you. You know, like just destroying you. He's so fun to watch. Zeke Thorson, that one hurt.
Yeah. Tough to see him leave the Colorado scene, but he's going to be a big player on the national stage wherever he goes.
Does the South still foul harder? I don't know if we're allowed to say stuff like that. Like, do you get beat up more
I don't know. We don't have Jacksonville in the league anymore.
Right. Mr. First guy retired. Well, he wasn't really.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't.
He was just a guy who would box you out for goals. Like he played basketball on Ultimate Field.
The 6'7" monster. Can I ask for your opinion on,
I'll allow it, yeah.
on the East and who you imagine to advance out of the East as we see another pinpoint hammer from Nanda Midfink cross field to Seth Ferris?
You can do that as many times as you want. Like, are you kidding? I mean, look at him. Does he look at all like he did in the first half? Look at how he's walking. Look at his face. Look at his eyes. That's different. This is the Nanda Midfink that I love. And I feel like a lot of times he's a little aloof. He hangs back a bit. You know, he's a handler. Sometimes I think he gets into that kind of handler mentality. But this guy's a killer. You know, and he can attack downfield. He can catch goals and can also slice and dice. These hammers have been beautiful.
Apologies, we're having some technical difficulties with our stat keeping system, so we don't have the precise numbers on the night for him. But
the same thing. He steps forward into it. And the other one, he's actually cutting up line and carried his momentum from the cut into the handle. So he's just saying, you know what, if you're going to give me this throw, I'm going to kill you.
No, I think it's because Seth did a good job. They were leaving the middle open.
So roller pole goes out of bounds just past midfield. Otherwise, that would have been a freebie for the Spiders if it didn't pass midfield.
That was as close as it gets.
Here's Frankenberg. A Weiss. Frankenberg takes a tumble. Reese comes back for the reset. Here's Gordon.
Stevie, he's coming back.
Adkins. Back to Gordon. McCall.
Stevie, stay down. Stevie. Stevie, reel him in.
Oakland content to just play catch in the reset space here. A Weiss with the throw to space. Here's Adam Reese. Offhand, backhand to Clyburn.
Just never took a low percentage shot at any point. You know, a lot of pressure, a lot of passes. They were all high percentage. They just the mental on that was really good for Oakland.
So let's get back to our championship weekend conversations. Let's assume that the three playoff teams in the East are Boston, New York, DC. I mean, no slight to Toronto. Just looks like it's kind of an uphill battle for them to get that third spot. And of course, you know, we don't know who's going to finish where, but you got a favorite for who's going to advance? Is it the defending champs?
Yeah, I think so. I think Boston's just a nightmare. But yeah, I mean, I like New York's upside. I just haven't seen anything that makes me say they're going to win the East.
Well, there was that one Friday night Frisbee game where they kind of blew the wheels off Boston in Boston.
Yeah, no doubt they can do it. I think that, you know, they can play those kinds of games. I just don't know if they're going to do it when it counts against Boston.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd love to watch it.
That's fair.
Well, I also don't know, what's Babbitt's status?
Yeah,
Do we know?
I don't know for sure.
I mean, if he ain't coming back, then totally different story. I don't think they win without Babbitt. Like, I love Toba. Belgium seems like a nice place, you know. Got the best ultimate players on the planet. But I'm taking Babbitt. I remember we talked to Sean Mott last year, and he just said, if the game's on the line, there's nobody I would rather have than Jeff Babbitt.
Here's Frood going down the line for Knopp, and a little too much juice on that one.
Also, bid. Like, go get that disc, Knopp. Like, please. Look at this play from Tim Elliott. I mean, how much are they getting out of this dude? This guy's giving them everything he's got. And against greatness, sometimes that's not enough.
Oakland with a chance to break here. Push the lead up to 8. Here's Chang. Takes the under. Tony Goss gets it off before the double team can really hone in. Robinson back to Chang. Crowd coming to life here with a little defense chant.
The fans in Golden, Colorado are so awesome. This is one of the best home experiences I've ever seen.
Granch down the line to Villeneuve to complete the break for Oakland. 8-goal advantage as the Spiders inch closer to 8-1 in the West.
So what do you think? Do you think New York, like I thought when they got Don that it would kind of just be their year? I mean, it still absolutely may well be their year. I don't know. I don't know how to evaluate them.
I feel like they just got some stuff to figure out personnel-wise and strategy-wise, because a roster with that much talent shouldn't be having some of the offensive hiccups that they're having. And it's easy for us to say, having not sat in the coach's chair.
Yeah, I wonder what. Well, yeah. Yeah, I wonder what, like, Brian Jones sees,
See if we can get Brian on the horn.
Yeah, can we? And actually, we have Brian Jones right here.
We have all three of our lifelines. We can use phone friend, right?
Oh, yeah, we should. Yeah, because I just think, like, he sees things that most of us don't see, most humans don't see. Just a truly great coach and one of my favorite analysts. I mean, he is amazing on the mic.
I'm with you. As Mueller's backhand torqued out of the end zone.
Yeah, I'd love to see Hunter May go deep. Love to see the throw go up, but not the right throw.
Yeah,
Sometimes that can be like tired legs too.
I mean, New York can do it. They clearly have done it. That loss in New York against Boston with a glory roster that was not the true top 20, who would be the top 20 later this season if everyone is available. That one was a little concerning. And you package that with getting surprised by a really strong DC team in overtime, and you just see some shades of fallibility that, I don't know, just raise some questions. They could very easily still be the team that shows up and beats Boston by 5 in the East Championship. I just don't know that that's the most likely outcome at this stage of the season.
Right, I wouldn't bet on it. It's interesting, too. I mean, free agency has become such a storyline in the league all of a sudden. Like, guys are just moving around. Like, going left, on the move.
Thomas Edmonds going from D.C. to Boston.
Yeah, it's just a lot of guys are just going to play.
By the way, congratulations to Thomas Edmonds and former D.C. Breeze coach Lauren Boyle as Valley hits Carter Lankford for another break. Thomas and Lauren going to be getting married this weekend.
Congrats to them. Yeah, I don't know Lauren as well, but Dutchie is a guy that I played with and who coached me and who, coached Team USA, just one of the greats, and he speaks so highly of him.
Former Breeze coach, Alex Gesquier.
That's right. You have to say their actual names.
Yeah, I just want to make sure everyone knows who we're talking about.
No, you're right.
And Oakland one more break away from potentially beating another opponent by 10 or more goals.
Yeah, and they're running through the finish line, like the opposite of what you would expect. At elevation, you'd expect these guys to start to slow down, and it's absolutely the opposite. They've accelerated in the fourth quarter.
Seattle with an 8-6 lead on Oregon, as you see there on the bottom line. Elliott looking for Brewster. He adjusts and gets rolled up on.
Yeah, not a great bid from Oakland. Orme
and
Anton Orme. Not a great bid.
No, that's Lincoln Grench. But that's going to be an unsportsmanlike.
I like it.
So extra yardage there for Brewster. You could see Grench apologetic immediately.
Jonathan Monforti thinking about throwing him out. Get him out of here.
Sorry.
Come on, Monforti. Lay down the hammer. You got the white hat of power.
Well, that is a flagrant, so if he gets one more, he will be out of here. Minfink doesn't go for the hammer this time. Instead, it's the crossfield OI flick, and it's intercepted by Robinson. I thought Ferris had position.
Dude, Seamus will make you look bad. I mean, he gets up and makes some plays that are, they're not only good plays, they're not only athletic plays, they're kind of humiliating plays.
I mean, to your point, Chuck, Oakland still clearly hungry to pour it on here with 1:12 remaining in regulation.
Yeah, they are sprinting to the finish line. You got to respect that. And there's a humility and a healthy ego in that as well.
Lankford with a minute remaining.
Last minute to play in the fourth quarter.
Here's Chang. Inside to Goss. 40 seconds left. Goss pulls the trigger. Nobody, I mean nobody, is following Dylan Villeneuve.
Yeah, that's raising the white flag there.
Chuck, are my ears deceiving? I'm hearing some boos here in the crowd.
Might be. I mean, this is a happy Colorado crowd. They're just getting in a river, climbing a mountain. Look at Seamus just saying, it's not happening, guys. Not happening tonight. You know, Colorado people generally happy, a lot of sun, nature, good times, a lot of breweries. But yeah, the crowd here wants a little more from the Apex.
So if Oakland can prevent Colorado from scoring here, this will be the 5th win of the season by 10 or more goals for the Spiders. And even if Colorado scores, this is going to be the first win in Colorado in Oakland franchise history.
How about a deep shot to Ben and Shea? Like, can we please have a deep shot?
Mueller back to Learned. 20 seconds left to go here in regulation. Here's Bauman. Back to Learned, 15 seconds. Sends it to Hunter May. There we go.
There it is. Don't call it a comeback, man, but it's a single-digit lead. Hello.
Oh, man.
They just got to score 2 goals a second. It's not a big deal.
Honestly, if I'm a coach, I don't love this end of quarter opportunity here as we get another look at the beautiful rip there from Aylin Learned.
Yeah, get space and then just rips that back.
I just feel like, yes, you only get so many real game opportunities to rep end of quarter situations, but right now with where you're at in the season, I don't want anybody getting hurt. Maybe they'll just throw a simple 2-yard pass and that'll be it.
That's interesting, yeah. I don't know. I would take the rep. But I'm also not that smart.
So, Mo Aweiss is just going to throw one swing to Gordon. He steps into the backhand. It did get off. It's coming down in the back of the end zone. Hunter May's defending, and he brings it down.
Yeah, Hunter May's like that. You don't want to try to test him in the air.
Mr. SportsCenter Top 10. With a block to end that one, unfortunately for the Apex. That defensive effort not enough as the Spiders win this one by 9 and improve to 8-1 with a win tomorrow night in Salt Lake. Oakland will clinch first place in the West Division heading into the playoffs.
Yeah, and how good is Oakland's D? I mean, they lead the league in blocks per game. They come in here and like Ben and Shea may as well not have been on the field tonight. Like Ben and Shea was an absolute non-factor, got in the end zone on a couple tight margin throws, but normally he's just feasting. You know, in this home crowd, he's having his way. And tonight it was just kind of not there. You know, this team is one of the best defensive teams, and if you want to win a championship, the best way to do that is to be the best defensive team in the league.
One final look at the stats and highlights, and we'll hear from the winners on the other side of the break. Welcome back to a beautiful, spooky evening here in Golden. The Spiders have caught the Apex in their web. A convincing 26-17 victory. And let's go down to the field. Bjorn Shea is standing by with Jason Valley. Bjorn?
Hey, Jason. Great win tonight. One of the things that really is palpable when I watch your team here is the depth from top to bottom, whether it be conditioning and just speed from top to bottom, and also the chemistry you guys have. Is that chemistry something you really focused on, or is that just grown organically over the past couple of years since you've been out there in the Bay?
Yeah, I think it's definitely something we focus on as a team. Like, we like playing Ultimate together, and fortunately that leads to chemistry as it happens. So, we just keep playing ball and keep improving in how we play with each other.
Yeah, that one thing the guys in the booth were talking about is how much it's clear that you guys enjoy playing with each other. And it's great that leads to winning, and it just seems like a positive feedback loop. So keep that up. I know it hasn't been, you guys look great tonight, one of the top teams in the league, but it hasn't been quite perfect. What do you want to see this team fix to make sure that what happened with Minnesota doesn't happen again?
Yeah, I think that we let up a little bit in that Minnesota game. We also let up in this game. Going forward, we just want to play 4 strong quarters with each other and have fun doing it.
All right, great. Good luck the rest of the season. Good luck in the playoffs, sir.
Appreciate you.
Good to see you.
You as well.
Back to you guys.
Thanks so much, Bjorn. Great to hear from Jason Valley. He and the Spiders are traveling to Salt Lake. They will face off against the Shred tomorrow night. That one available on watchufa.tv for subscribers. 7 p.m. Mountain is the opening pull start time for that one. Here's one final look at this team stats. And Chuck, any way you slice it, Oakland just had the advantage tonight.
Yeah, it was evident from the beginning that Oakland was out for blood, and they took an early lead and held it. And kind of fun to see both teams use the full depth of their bench for the most part. See some young guys get some reps, but Oakland just applies an unbelievable amount of pressure on defense, and their offense was just so flowy, open, taking everything that was given, hitting the deep shot, hitting the unders.
Yeah, the Spiders, not known as a prolific hucking group, go 10 for 10 on the deep ball tonight.
They're the highest percentage hucking team in the league. They don't huck. Actually, I looked at the numbers. They actually huck the least.
Exactly.
But they complete the most. I feel like it must be because they take like 35-yard shots at the end zone. You know what I mean? So they don't count. But that's just a theory. I don't know.
Well, that's going to do it for Friday Night Frisbee. Thanks for sticking with us here on the UFA YouTube channel. Dylan Villeneuve and Seamus Robinson getting back to business here with the Spiders D-line. Andrew Mueller and company brought the spice, but they could not slow down Chandler Boyd-Flegel, Raekwon Adkins, and the rest of the Spiders attack. For Bjorn Shea and Chuck Kindred, I'm Ian Toner. We appreciate you joining us here from Golden. Plenty other action still unfolding live on watchufa.tv tonight. And more Friday Night Frisbee coming your way next weekend.
The Ultimate Frisbee Association is proud to partner with Victory. Elevate your game with Victory insoles and recovery footwear at VKTRY.com. Delta THC Seltzers. No calories, no sugar, no alcohol. Catch life's moments at DrinkDelta.com. Two Town Cider House, bringing the best craft cider for everyday celebrations. Find yours at TwoTownCiderHouse.com. and Disc-It. Round Net meets Ultimate. Disc-It is the must-have portable game for every UFA fan. Get yours at discitgame.com. It's a rivalry that goes back to 2013, a clash of styles, and a history of close, down-to-the-wire finishes. The Indianapolis AlleyCats and the Madison Radicals, next week on Friday Night Frisbee.